throughout my whole life, I've really struggled with anxiety and social settings, and just felt uncomfortable sometimes. Not all the times, but when that part of me got triggered and I started to feel anxious, it felt so unsafe to expose myself. Instead, I put on a mask. And I could feel like people were seeing right through me. And that made it even worse. That just made the anxiety even more present. So I put on more masks, and then I started to shut down instead. And I can still feel those tendencies a little bit. And for you who don't know, I record videos here on YouTube every single day. As a part of my spiritual practice, as a part of my devotional practice. And some days it's not as easy to show up as other days. Some days it's just so clear that like this is the most natural thing for me. And other days it's like, there's resistance to showing up. And really it's not resistance to showing up, it's rather resistance to exposing what is here, what is real, in real time with you. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just letting my body know that it's safe to be here, that it's safe to be expressed. And as I am speaking, I can literally feel how my body starts to relax more and more and more and more, just by, first of all, showing up anyways. And secondly, being true in my expression. Before I would force myself into saying something valuable, and I didn't believe that this aspect of me, this anxious part of me, wasn't valuable. So therefore I hid it, and instead I put on a mask. And this is really to self-abandon over and over and over again. And we humans tend to do it all the times in different scenarios. Suddenly we don't feel safe to show our authentic expression, and instead we put on a mask. And with this mask on, we stay small, we stay hidden, we abandon ourselves, we create a resistance to what is. Instead of fully being here, I'm showing myself here. And that just creates a lot of forceful motion, where we are like forcing ourselves into something that is not true. We are pushing ourselves, and we are doing it all the times. And it's so unnecessary. And this devotional practice for me to show up on video every day could easily be like that. It could easily be something that I don't look forward to, something that I pressure myself into, something that I force myself into. But the force only comes when I'm not true to myself. So if I just show up as I am, honoring what is here, what is true right now, and I express that, I am free. And I am showing myself that it's okay. I'm showing myself that I'm allowed to be expressed like this as well. I'm allowed to be here. I am allowed to be safe and to be loved and to be accepted. And I feel so sad for every time I've self-abandoned. I feel so deeply, deeply sad that I didn't feel safe enough to show this part of myself to myself and to the world. I feel so sad that I walked around for years abandoning myself because I was afraid of being judged, of not being accepted, But the truth is that the one we need acceptance from is ourself. And when we start to accept ourself, the world starts to accept us as well. Because the world is a mirror to what we hold to be true about ourselves. And it just feels so good to sit here in front of you, witnessing me in my process, what I'm going through right now. And this is kind of the way to do it. We are faced with an emotion that we don't feel uncomfortable being with. So we resist it. And it's the resistance that creates this identity, this mask that we go around with instead of exposing what is real for us. And all of us are doing it to some extent. And the way to freedom, the way to fully feel free, to fully feel expressed and alive, is to go into what is here and express it. And this is a practice. It takes time to develop the muscle to first of all check in with ourselves. Many of us are so disconnected from our bodies, so we don't even know that we are tense. We don't even feel it. And we don't think what we do, we just do. So we walk around with this facade. So first of all, you need to recognize that you're walking around with a facade, that you feel tense in your body, that you actually don't feel that safe and expressed within yourself. And maybe I can be that mirror for you right now. Because the thing is that when we see someone who is true in their expression, we start to recognize that same authentic thing within ourselves. So if you feel like what I'm speaking about here resonates with you, it's something that moves in you. You just feel, you don't know why, but you just feel something loosening up, or you can start to breathe a little bit more again, or you got emotional when I was speaking. That's an indication that your body is recognizing something that is true. I am just mirroring that truth. And you are feeling it. And if you are feeling it, that means that you are starting to do the same. You're starting to reconnect to your body. You're starting to feel your own signals. You're starting to sense the different flavors of the emotional state that you find yourself in. And as you do, it's a matter of recognizing that, okay, now I feel anxious, for example. I feel like my body just wants to like, ooh, you know? and as you are here, like this actually felt really good, like, because I still feel this anxiousness, and it just felt good to like cozy myself up like this. So, so if you feel a little bit small, or you feel like this right now, allow your body to go there physically. Allow yourself to go there, and then to expose it with others. And you need to feel safe enough to go there, because sometimes, like I've practiced this for a long time, okay? So sometimes, for example, with anxiety, you might not feel safe to go there with another person. And if you start to go there, you still hold that self-judgment, maybe, which the other person senses, and they might not accept you because you're not accepting yourself, and they don't accept you because they haven't faced that within themselves either. And maybe that just makes you go even deeper into your shell. So it's important to be in an environment where you feel safe enough to actually expose these parts of yourself. Anxiety, for example. with people that can actually hold you and mirror you back, where you are safe to go there. Or safe enough, I would say, because it will not feel that great maybe in the beginning. It will feel a bit like scary, I would say. But when you go into it and you feel it, you release something. You release the protection. You release the resistance. You don't release this part of yourself, because this is a part of you. The anxiety is transformed into just safety of your own being. And this is when you start to come home even deeper within yourself. And this is like layer after layer after layer we do this. And our emotional state and how we feel, and if we are contracted or expanded, that's the indication if we feel safe enough or we close ourselves down. And when we close, we need to feel safe enough and have a space where we feel held, so that we can go there, so that we can express it, so that we can feel free to even be there. So for me, for example, this little indication of resistance that I felt this morning of coming here and recording this video is first of all gone now. It actually feels really good to sit here and be expressed as my authentic self, and also seen in my process. It feels very, very, very fulfilling and very, very good for this part of myself that just needs love and acceptance. And for me, I am loving and accepting myself as I'm sitting here and speaking to you. So this feels amazing. And every time I show myself that it's safe, every time I build the muscle of just showing up and not forcing myself or pressure myself into saying something like valuable, putting on a mask, and instead saying something true, I teach my nervous system that it's safe. I teach this anxious part of myself that it's safe to go here, that I'm safe to be here in this environment. So that's why, for example, now this is self-chosen to show up on video every day, but you can really put this on in any area of your life, on your job, your relationships. That's one of the main areas where that anxiety will probably be triggered, if anxiety is a trigger for you. Or it might be anger or something else. But it's when we really go into connection, where we relate to something. Now I'm relating to you, to the camera. I have this as my mirror, but you can also have a relationship as your mirror, or your boss as your mirror, or your parents as your mirror. Or a space where you know that it's safe to express yourself. You know that you will be held. You know that you will be supported. You know that you will be accepted. And that is the kind of space that I'm developing right now. I am building a community that is fully video-based. Also because that means that we can expose ourselves, that we can be seen for real, where we have weekly calls, where we will be a group of like-minded people doing this work together. What's the reason for it? To just feel good about yourself. To actually feel like your body's your home. You can just feel love and acceptance for yourself, not just in these areas of your life, but these areas as well. These areas where you feel like you are avoiding showing up for yourself. You're avoiding to pursuing a new career, or you're avoiding expressing your voice online, or you're avoiding to go deep into relationships, for example. That's the kind of areas where we all want love and acceptance, and if we don't feel that, it can feel very hard and it can feel very lonely. So this space is for you who don't feel like you want to be alone anymore, who feel like you want to be a part of a group of people that sees you, that supports you, where you are safe and allowed to be in your full spectrum of emotions, where you can come home to the parts of yourself that you have abandoned for a long time. So if that kind of space is something that you are interested in, you can just write community down below. Then I know that you have an interest for it, and it will roll out. I don't know when, but it's in the making. So anyways, that was all for today. I see you and I love you. Bye.